to this. Oh, it's another Thursday afternoon. And you know what that means. It's time to record a podcast.
Oh.
It's the BGB's podcast.
I thought it was
40
there was more NBA.
The 46th numbered podcast, which is incredible, Nikki. We've been doing this for 46 years straight. Can you believe it?
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
I'll
introduce myself. Yeah, hi, I'm John Warren. I'm one of your hosts. Nikki Grayson, my forever co-host. You seem not great.
No, I'm normal.
You're normal?
Yeah, I'm normal. Do you want to talk about a bet that we made a couple weeks ago? And by
you
a couple
and me?
weeks ago, I mean in October.
Yeah, what?
Let me open my calendar again so I can get.
You know what? While you're looking that up, I'm going to introduce our guest. You can find her. She's an editor over at GameSpot. I practiced in the fucking mirror not to say GameStop. Holy shit. It's the one and only Jessica Cogswell. Hi, Jess.
Same.
Hi, Jess. How are you?
How is everybody?
We're really
Hi,
good.
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you here. We're so
John.
super psyched. Hey, Nikki, what bet did we make in October?
On VGB's podcast episode 21.
21. Okay, I'm listening.
We made a bet.
Okay.
And I really wish we specified what the bet was for, because we didn't. Because I'm about to win is why.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
On how many games Kawhi Leonard was going to play in the 2024-2025 NBA season.
This is so not interesting. We bet on that? We bet on...
we did.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And
what did I say? Something like 10 games and he played more than that?
You said 16 games.
Okay, I was wrong. He played more than that.
I said 33 games.
Okay. Did he actually play 33?
How many games do you think that Kawhi Leonard played this year? For reference, there are 82 games in a basketball season.
I am going to go 29.
It's a great guess, but you also would be wrong. Because I was right. He played 37 games.
Okay, so you were Price is Right rules.
Price is Right rules, which is how we run our podcasts.
Yeah.
That's a win for me.
Wow, congratulations. Jess, you should be really honored that you're here for this revelation, which is like one of the most boring things I think we've ever bet on.
Sorry, it's one of the best intros to a podcast that's ever happened. One person has no idea what we're talking about. The other person didn't remember the conversation, and then the other person didn't even really is only winning on a technicality. So it's kind of good for everybody.
I also love
it's
Jess.
I say it's like you had to be there joke, but only
one person was there, really.
And I wasn't even really there because I didn't have the calendar reminder.
Yeah. Nikki, I'm noticing also something, Jess and I kind of have this really considered framing of our kind of our camera, and you can see us kind of in the middle.
You want me to fix it?
You can see. No. I just want everyone who is not listening or not watching to know that Nikki is only filling roughly 10% of the frame.
My Chiron reaches higher than my head.
It's true. It's true. What does that mean? What does that say about you?
It means I'm good.
Okay. Well, we've talked about a lot of bullshit already, so let's skip that part. Jess, I'm really excited to have you here, and I'm doing a new thing where I'm asking the host to bring something to the table, and you've, I think, brought something very interesting, but I want you to first tell us why you chose this, and do you also have something to share in this vein?
I kind of do, but it's a little bit fucked up. So it kind of depends on what your threshold is for fucked up situations that happened to me this morning.
Okay.
So So the topic that I chose. Oh, sorry, it's cutting out again.
I think you're good. I think you're good. Is it? Can
Okay.
you hear us?
It's so no, it's
It's
like
in and
right
out.
now, like it's total robot. It's like
Okay.
skipping. I don't know what's up.
Okay.
My
I don't
new
know why it would be
idea
doing that.
is that we lower the resolution.
Okay.
Is that a thing that we can
Yeah,
do?
I. It is.
I'm
It
gonna go to
is.
480.
Yeah, can
Okay.
you
Do
send
4.
us 480
Yeah. Do that.
and
Yes,
see if
I'm
that
sending
works?
480.
Okay.
I'll turn up the brightness, but
I'll keep being out of
oh, it's
focus in
so much more. I feel
solidarity.
like zoomed in. That's
It
Yeah.
is zoomed in.
interesting.
I think what they
Okay.
do is they zoom in to
Yeah,
to
less
make up for
pixels.
the less pixels.
But it
That might be
seems
good.
better now.
It seems better now.
Okay. So now we have me taking up 80% of my screen and Nikki's
It's
still
okay.
at rocking about a 10.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Is
We got
this better?
5.
Yeah.
Just see Nikki's forehead. Okay, Jess. Yes. Tell us what you want to talk about.
So my choice was I want to hear from each of you a really good piece of like local or neighborhood or like friend drama, but it has to be someone like it has to be so far removed that they're never going to listen to this. They're never going to know. It's someone, it could even be family drama, but I just want like a good sip of tea. You know what I mean? And I like doing this because it makes you realize this is something that like when I started working in games media, I realized that you have to find people who you can like have these conversations with, and then also you need to tell them about your stupid drama too at work and like Twitter drama and all that stuff too, right? Because you realize when you're talking about it how stupid and small it all is, and like it makes you feel I don't know, it just makes the world a happier place. Like if you go to a friend and I'm talking to one of my friends and I'm like, hey, so there's this guy named Grums on the internet and this is his deal. All of it is like, what the fuck? And you
Uh-huh.
realize you're like, wow, I let this guy like have some control over my emotions and make me feel a bit bad. But when you do it like when you phrase it like that, you realize like it
Uh-huh.
really doesn't matter. Everything's kind of
Uh-huh.
weird and strange. So I would
Uh-huh.
love to hear some local news from you guys.
Some local drama. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Your caveat was really interesting because I was actually going to tell you something that our next door neighbors did, but now I'm afraid that they might
They're not
actually.
listening.
They've asked before,
Ah.
I mean, here's
and
the
I
thing.
said, I'll text you, and I never did. But if they ask
Mhm.
again, it's going to be really obvious that I don't want them to listen to it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
We
so
have a
brave.
we have a backyard, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a great backyard. And it's a sanctuary, and we're private people. It's not like we go out there and we like hang hog all night. Like that's not what we do. But we just want to know that we're not being observed in our backyard when we're out there. But our neighbors have put a camera in their second story window that looks out into their yard, but almost certainly also into ours.
Ah.
And when we
Mm.
when we asked about it, because it took us like 5 days to get up the nerve to ask about it.
Yeah.
When we asked about it, one of them blamed the spouse on it being placed that way. And then when we got confirmation that you could still see part of our house from that camera angle and said, "Yeah, we just like maybe just angle it down and like onto the thing." They were like, "My spouse insists that it's exactly the way it is because he's the security freak." So, um, yeah, it's just kind of weird, you know. It's kind of it's like
That's tough.
we've like had dinner with these people like 5 times, and
That's
so it's
so
just kind
tough.
of you know what, yeah. Anyway, on the back of his truck,
Yeah.
it has and I also never saw the back of his truck because he backs in
Yeah.
every day, but I saw it
Mm.
recently. What's on the back of his truck? Tell me 2 things that are on the back of his truck.
I love spying.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's just a bumper sticker that
Big
says "I
bumper
love
sticker.
spying."
The start of every good story. Please continue.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one's got like It's Calvin pissing on the Toyota logo.
Okay, Jess, do you have guesses?
So it was cutting out a little bit, but I'm gonna guess Don't Tread on Me.
Okay, good,
Or
great
was
guess.
that already a guess?
Nope,
Okay.
that's a new one.
Okay. All right. So Don't Tread on Me. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna go with a marathon sticker. You know, like
Oh,
however
yeah.
many, yeah.
You are actually unbelievably close with both.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So it's a thin red line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red
Yeah.
line. Is that
Red
firefighters?
line. No, that's military.
Ah.
Okay. And then a like a triathlon thing. So
Wow.
you're
Okay, wow. So
totally
I
right.
really actually
You were
was
like
close.
really close.
yeah, you were
Okay.
really really close.
That's
So
incredible.
congrats.
Um,
Here's the
well-
thing. Here's the thing. I also listen, if you're listening, you two,
Yeah.
I like you. We've had dinner. I like you.
Yeah.
I think this is a weird move. I just think it's an odd
Yeah,
move.
no, for sure.
I just don't think I think it's a strange move, guys.
It is a strange move. I gotta back John up here. It's a weird move, you guys.
It's a weird move. Just move
What
it.
if
Just
you
angle
did
it. Do something different.
Start hanging hog only in that part of the lawn that is visible? Or is the whole thing visible now?
Then what happens then, Nikki, if once I start doing that, I just notice that the camera is now pointing even further into our yard? Just kind of like we liked what we saw.
The odds that that is happening are so
It's
much
so
lower
low. So
than
low.
them being like, oh.
Yeah.
My
guess
solution.
maybe
So
we'll
is it
angle it
like a security camera? Like does it alert them when there's movement and stuff? You said it's security.
It looks like that, yes.
Then what you just have to do is you have to set it like off constantly. Just
Yeah.
like constantly go through that area at whatever time so that they're always fucking paranoid about it and they're like looking like, oh, what's going on? And then eventually they'll move it because they'll be like, well, that's like they're always out there. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I could staple like a bunch of like flags and stuff onto like a scarecrow and like put it
get
out
a
there.
scarecrow.
Yeah.
And it's like if it's always kind of moving, it'll
Get
just
one
be
of
like,
those
human
inflatable
detected,
guys.
human detected, human detected. You know, just over and over and over
That's
again.
good.
Exactly.
There's a restaurant on the corner here that the house that is adjacent to the restaurant has Ring cameras that point into the parking lot of the restaurant. And I'm like, first of all, the restaurant fucking sucks. So it's not even like I don't know what information they're trying to glean from by pointing like the fucking camera into the thing. It sucks. But it informs you as you're walking by. It says, "Hi, you are being recorded."
Oh.
As you walk through the parking lot every time. And I flip it off every time. So I think that's what you should probably start doing. Like at 3 a.m., you should probably walk out there because they'll get a notification about it and just give them
this thing.
Just two big birds.
Yeah.
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 I might get shot if I did
That's a good
that.
one.
Nah,
though.
for sure. Absolutely. But
I
you run
might
that
get
risk everywhere, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I do live in Texas. It's true.
Yeah.
I do. I run that risk. So that's one. I'm trying to think if there's anything like more kind of fun or like scandalous. I can't immediately think of anything more scandalous than that. We did have the day we moved in here. Someone died 3 doors down.
What?
And we don't know who or how.
That's
but
a good
it was good omen the day we moved in. and there was some sort of foul play involved because detectives came back later.
Oh.
That's a really good omen.
Yeah.
Because here's why.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have multiple crimes on the same block.
It's like lightning.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So you got the one out of the way for this generation, and it wasn't you.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
Yeah.
That could be it. Nikki, do you have a good one? Do you have any sort of local neighborhood goss?
It's not it's quiet is not, I think, the word I want to use. There is an unconfirmed theory that there is a person who is running like these queer gatherings, queer parties in LA, is skimming money off the top in a way that is like truly insane.
Delicious.
Because the tickets to these events cost an insane amount of money. And like, yeah, Los Angeles is like the third or second or third, whatever, most expensive city in the country, whatever. It's expensive to rent a space. But these spaces can't be that expensive. And then they constantly are like, well, we don't have any money. And it's like, you fuckers are charging $35 to hang out in a place for 4 hours. And there are 250 people here. Like the numbers just don't.
Yeah.
They don't add up. But
Yeah.
I don't know anybody intently enough to have heard anything other than, I think they might be taking money. And I said, that's probably true because the numbers don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, is throwing parties a job? For sure.
Yeah, sure.
But also, like, you shouldn't then also have volunteer workers.
Right. Yeah, that seems
Working the
pretty
party.
straightforward. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good one.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
No characters
Jess?
in that one, but
Jess, I'm going to give you the floor. You said it might be a little upsetting, and I'm going to say we're going
I
to risk
can't wait.
it. We're going to risk it. I'm going to say let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a weird one. So
Okay.
the house that I have, it's so weird because I don't want to say my house, even though it is like, but I don't own it. I'm renting a house. I in this economy, no way. So my
You're
house
good.
though,
Yeah, it's your house.
backs up. Yeah, it backs up to some woods, right? And like, there's lots of deer that come and like to play and have fun, hang out. They're super adorable. I go out there and feed them. It's great. Today, there were a shit ton of possums. I don't know why. A lot of possums. They're really cute. I went out there. I did my usual thing of like admiring the cute animals. I like took some videos of the possums playing. There was like a mom and her baby. It was real cute shit. Little while passes. The possums are still just like on and off, like walking around, right? And I like how I'm like, give me some neighborhood drama. I'm giving you possum drama.
Possum drama.
Because
Yeah,
it was like
that's
fucking
good.
Game of Thrones today. Cut out again. But like there was some sort of turf war happening. And long story short, I saw another possum kill another possum this morning.
Whoa.
It was deeply upsetting. I thought they were play fighting at first, and then I realized it was not a play fight. They kept going at it. I got freaked out, and I tried to break up the fight. That didn't work. I brought out, so like, I'm like fucking, like, people joke when they come over. They're just like, you got like this whole fucking Snow White thing going on. Cause like I'm out there with strawberries, like feeding the deer. And so I have a strawberry and I'm trying to break up two possums that are fighting. I throw a strawberry at the possums. It doesn't stop them. The other one straight up murders the other possum. The whole day my 3-year-old son watched these animals play and I had to, we have to stop. We need to go inside. They're not. So he didn't see. I saw.
That's good.
The possum, he laid there for like probably 20 minutes. I thought that possum was dead. Then he got up. He went away.
sleeping.
But I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess he was playing possum, right? That's where it comes from.
Right.
But like, he definitely was Mike Tyson though, missing an ear, like whole side just
Man.
like very gross looking. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna go into it.
Hey,
and he went away.
Quick question.
I do not know where he is.
Wait, but
And
I
that
do
was
have a
my
question
morning.
about.
And then I had my psychiatrist appointment virtually at 9.
Did you have anything to talk about?
Yeah,
this week,
did this come up? Did this come up?
So if it were therapy, yes, but it was just my psychiatrist. It was just medicine questions.
Oh,
so she was
sure.
just like,
Oh,
how
just
are your
meds
stress levels?
questions.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
normal.
Normal, nothing
Yeah.
happening here. It's fine.
I have a question. The body of the dead one, though.
Yes.
Now that's still right outside your house.
You don't know where it is.
No, so that's the one that he mysteriously got up. I don't know. Like he
Yeah.
like he was down for a long time. When he got up, really horrifying looking and was just doing circles. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. And so I like just went, and then it was gone. So
okay. So
I don't know if
you're
got up
well,
and
that's
moved
good. You
of
don't
his
have to
own
call
volition
anybody about
or
it then.
something else.
Yeah, you don't have to call anyone. You just kind of just leave it.
So originally, originally we were going to call animal control because like I have a 3-year-old. The weather is 70 degrees today. I'm like, we're gonna go outside and play, and I don't want there to just be a dead possum. But
sure.
I don't know where it is, so I don't know. I hope he's okay. I don't have a lot of confidence, but that was my drama this morning. Like I said, I literally have, it's funny is I deleted all of the videos because now they make me depressed, but I was like recording the possums being cute.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But no, like,
not anymore.
I don't want to have it on here.
Yeah,
no, you don't want any sort of like Lord of the Flies bullshit out on your, no, I'd delete that stuff too. Yeah, no, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like animals are so tough. Like, I don't know. Like, Ann and I are we're we have all this like nature happening in our backyard. We're very used to that. It's like kind of the same deal, and we are very much like nature's really cruel and uncaring, and you just have to let things live or whatever. But it's like every time we see something upsetting happening, we're like, no, we have to interfere. No, we're not scientists. It's fine. We just have to. We just have to do something,
My husband saw me like trying to break up this possum fight, and he was like, "Jessica, stop! It's nature. Don't go." And I'm like, "But this is so sad." So
that's their way. Just let them go. Yeah. But
and then I like go in, and I'm just having like my existential crisis too. Where I'm like, "Damn it, it's nature. It's fucked up."
Yeah, no, they'll do whatever. It's wild out there.
They will just do whatever. So yeah, in that vein, we had there's an Eastern Phoebe in our little doorway. It's a little it's a kind of bird, and she nested above our door, and it's in this kind of shelter, and then she had a nest, and she laid 3 eggs, and the 3 babies were born, and they were like out there like stretching like bah! They were like really cute, and Anne got really, really attached to like making sure that they were okay.
Yeah.
And like just kind of kept like going out there to make sure they were okay, and like she'd report back to me. And she did something that for whatever reason spooked them one day, and they all kind of flew out, and we're like, where did they go? Well, apparently all they did was they landed on my car, which is parked outside, and they shit all over it. I went out one morning and I had the most shit I've ever had on my car. Just on my car. I've never had shit on my car like that. And so this whole family of birds decided like, this fucking lady, this fucking broad, let's shit on her car. And it's like, no, it's my car. Her car's in the fucking garage. And so it's just covered in shit. Anyway, the babies are fine. They all flew away.
That's
it was
good.
like, it was good.
I thought the end of this story was that you found one on the ground, which has happened to me multiple times.
So
That's
sad.
Bummer.
The saddest thing ever. Yeah.
Can we stop talking about dead animals?
Yes, we can stop talking about dead animals. No, it's good. It's fine. It's fine. What I want to do, you've been kind of on a tour of podcasts lately, Jess, and
I can't believe you're doing this to me.
This has been a subject on several shows, but I played one game of MTG Arena last week, and it made me angry, because this is so small. But it was like, okay, time to play land before you can play Guy. And I'm like, what do you mean play land before I can play Guy? I don't understand any of this. So what I want you to do is to pitch us on Magic the Gathering.
Not us. Us is too
generous.
No,
Nikki. No, Nikki.
Listen.
No.
I'm living clean.
You're living clean?
You can't get me with this. Not in a million years. John,
Straight
though,
edge,
seems susceptible. That's exactly correct. John, though, susceptible to peer pressure.
I am.
You can get him.
You can get me.
Literally, I have confirmation now that I'm going to Summer Game Fest. And I've already had 2 different people be like, so we're gonna bring our magic decks, right? So John, I'll bring one for you.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So the way that I like to play Magic the Gathering is
Yes.
there's different ways, there's different formats, right? And I like Commander. And Commander is you have 100 cards, none of them can be duplicates of one another. And you have one guy who you don't put in your deck. He's still part of the 100, but he's your commander. And he is like leading the charge of this. And everything that commander does is basically something that like helps supplements like the thing that you have going on, right? Like whatever gimmick or mechanic you're trying to do to win. And so like that's the way that I like to play. And it's just it's a fun little strategy game, honestly. And it scratches that itch. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of how the art's really pretty. You know, that kind of was a selling point for me. I just like to look at them. I like to have a hobby that, while adjacent to video games, is not just looking at a screen. It's kind of nice to sit around with friends and like, you know, feel like my grandma playing Rummy or whatever.
Okay.
But for me, it's, you know, putting down my little mermaids. Yeah, I play a lot of mermaids and vampires. If you like cool little creatures, cool little guys, I feel like it's a great game for little guys.
Okay,
You know?
great game for little guys. I'm writing all this down. Great game.
No, John is
for
taking
little guys. I'm
diligent
taking notes.
notes.
Yeah, I've written this. Commander, 100 cards. Commander does everything. Art is pretty. Quote, I like to look at him. Jess Cogswell. Great game for little guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I sign off on all of those.
Okay. The Final Fantasy cards that are coming out. Are you excited about those?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Do you just you can't just get those, right? Like how do
What do
you
you mean?
you can't
What
just
do you
like go to you can't just
No,
like
no,
go
Nikki,
to
Nikki, you
can't-
explain. You explain to us how you think you get the Final Fantasy cards for Magic the Gathering.
They're not selling you singles, right? You're buying a pack, right? And only one of them's gonna be Cloud, and then the other one's gonna be the other like 8 in there are gonna be horses, right?
So there's a few different ways. I do like the idea of running a deck that's just Cloud and a bunch of
Cloud and
horses.
horses. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if he had the chance, he maybe would have gone through a horse thing. So I get it.
No, absolutely he would.
Yeah.
He would have been really annoying about it too.
There's a few different ways that you can buy it. So you can get the Commander box, which is going to be an 100 card Commander deck, including whoever. So like Cloud is, for instance, is a Commander deck. So you're going to get Cloud, and then you're going to get 99 other cards that all like work with Cloud and will all be a lot of fun. It'll be, I mean, there's going to be some stuff that's probably not Final Fantasy related, but it's going to be like 85% Final Fantasy cards that are all in there that will work alongside Cloud and will, you know, do whatever you're trying to do. And they also have one for like Ishtola from Final Fantasy 14, and I think Terra from 6 and Titus from 10. Those are the ones that they've confirmed. And then you can also get, if you don't want to do Commander, you can just get booster packs, which booster packs are just like how they are with Pokemon or whatever. Or you buy a pack, it's 15 cards. You can buy a box of booster packs, so it's going to be 30 of those 15 card packs, but like that's pretty much how you do it. And then once it's been out for a little while, you'll start to be able to buy singles and stuff like that. Like you can go to a game store and, you know, be like, hey, I'm looking for this card. They'll dig through their files or hand you it or whatever, their binders. Or you can even go online. But so they don't sell singles off the bat, but once
they're in circulation, they're buyable.
You could buy it.
How much is it? How much would Cloud be if I just wanted Cloud?
So
hypothetically,
yes.
speaking,
Oh, so if you just want Cloud.
So like, okay, so there was a Lord of the Rings one of these, right?
Oh yeah.
Before in the past, how much the One Ring card?
Oh, I mean, so like that's one of the most expensive. Like that's
Did I pick a really expensive
abnormal
one?
thing?
Oh
yeah, I mean, because the One Ring is like the thing. Like Post Malone owns it, and he paid how many millions of dollars for it?
Okay, so can I pick a? I'm trying. Do you think I can name anything else from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, let's see.
Is there? If I wanted a Gandalf card, How much is Gandalf?
Yeah. Let's see right now.
How much is Gandalf?
That's a good Google search.
You can buy Gandalf right now. Gandalf the White, if that's the one that you want.
Sure. Well, are there other
Let's
ones?
see. If
There's
you can get
Gandalf
him
the Grey.
for you can get him for 88 cents.
That's so many.
Oh, actually, okay. So Gandalf the White is like $2.50 is what I'm seeing, but you can also get a different version that's like 88 cents.
$2.
So I mean, it kind of depends.
Or $250.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not bad.
$2.
How much is SpongeBob?
No.
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob was part of a secret lair, which is what they call their like aren't
the Fortnite
official.
Part.
They're basically like reskins. Yeah, basically.
I'm on a website. I'm on a website called
So you
MTG
still go on to
Goldfish.
secret lair.
And it's very funny to see Squidward in something called Knight's Whisper Secret Lair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's cool.
So the difference between like, so this is actually a hot topic in the Magic community, right? So secret lairs used to be what they would do for like IPs and stuff like that, like Fortnite type crossover stuff, where it's like, we're going to have SpongeBob in the game, where they're not actually making new cards. If you look at any of the SpongeBob ones, it'll have like a new name on the top, but then underneath it says the official card that it is just a skin of, basically. And you can even, you can type in, right, like Magic the Gathering Bloodborne deck, and you can find people who will make entire decks that look like something else, but they're basically secret layers. They're basically just proxies of something else. But now with IPs, they're starting to actually give them their own cards and like unique identity. And so like that's what they're doing with Final Fantasy. That's what they're doing with Spider-Man this year. They're doing it with Avatar. And there's some people who are very upset about that.
Okay.
Now, not giving enough attention to the actual worlds established in Magic. Now it's just all crossover shit.
Sorry, not to be crazy. Haven't they been making Magic the Gathering cards for 50 fucking years?
Like 30, but yeah, like
it's
still
like
a long ass time. Long ass time.
Relax is how I feel.
Yeah, that's my thought too. It's like it's not hurting anything. It's fine.
It's not that deep.
They're little crossovers and collabs.
Can you imagine if Fortnite? Can you imagine if Fortnite was around for 30 years before it ever tried to do anything?
Yeah, no, like
that would be crazy. Like it's just like
after 30 years, Fortnite adds Ariana Grande.
Yeah. She's 58. God, that'd be so wild. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you're gonna bring a deck to SGF?
Yeah,
for me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I have my little like travel box, and I'll just make sure I bring a couple decks, and I'll let you pick whichever one looks cooler to you, and we can try it out.
Amazing. Okay. I'm game to try it. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it will be like heroin. I won't be able to stop.
It might. That's what they're calling it. That's exactly what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Well,
good luck to both of you on your continued journey.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's talk about some games, huh? Some video juegos.
Video juegos.
We got a big reveal. It was like awkwardly timed. I think it was like last Saturday. I can't
it was Saturday.
Yeah.
And that was deeply like, well, nothing else is happening that day. Like I kind of respect the idea, like, oh well, we'll get rid of this, we'll escape the cycle by doing it on a Saturday. But then it's like, okay, congrats, weekend editor.
I was two margaritas deep at lunch when the marathon trailers dropped. There was a cinematic trailer as well as a gameplay trailer. I fell off of Destiny a really long time ago, and we might as well remind folks that we have a good friend, Colin McGregor, out working at Bungie on Marathon. So take that with a grain of salt. Just an ethical footnote there, but I will say This especially the cinematic trailer had like the coolest vibes. Based on vibes alone, I would like to try this video game. Jess, I cannot remember. Were you a Destiny person at all? And how is Marathon hitting you?
Hear you right now.
You can't hear me right now. That's okay.
Okay, I think we're back. Now
we're
we're
back.
Now we're okay.
Are we so fucking back? Okay, maybe.
No.
Nikki, I'm going to start with you.
It's over. It's over.
John.
Now we're back.
Are we back? It's over. Now we're back.
John, you
It's
also
over.
knock yourself down to 720. So
Okay,
we're
I'm
sending
gonna knock myself
Jess
down.
less
We're
pixels.
sending Jess. Okay, we're gonna send Jess less pixels. We're gonna do that. Let's send me less pixels.
I can't handle the pixels. Let's go to 360.
Nikki, are you sending less pixels?
I'm sending fewer pixels right now.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
I'm here.
Oh wow! You
Apparently my computer.
Okay, we're gonna go standard def.
Oh, it's so
now.
little pixels.
Okay. Wow, it
Wow.
changes the
the
aspect
Incredible.
ratio.
Yeah, the aspect ratio. I look long now.
I look long. I look like a fucking El Greco painting. It's weird. Nikki, we'll start with you.
Okay.
You okay? I know you.
I can't look at you anymore.
You know that TikTok filter that's like, here's what you really look like to other people. I'm just like,
well, I feel like we just like went through the Severance thing, right, where our heads just like.
Yeah. So Nikki, let's start with you. I know you've played a lot of Destiny in your day.
Too much of it.
Too much of it. What'd you think of the marathon reveal, bud?
I'm fucking amped for this video game. I've never been more excited for a video game that I'm going to be bad at and then throw away. You know? Mm-hmm. Like I simply cannot wait. If the one thing that Bungie is really, really good at is tone.
Yes.
And I think something that when people started to fall off of Destiny, it was because part of the reason that I fell off of Destiny is because I was like, it's been the same shit for so long. Like the stuff is cool, and if it was the first time I had seen it, then yes, absolutely give it to me. But I had been looking at the same thing for literally 10 years, or not, I guess 10 years exactly, but like 5 to 7 years by the time I said I'm okay. So to have them have an opportunity to go, okay, clean slate, we can kind of do whatever the fuck we want, and also we have an understanding and a command of visual identity in a way that very few other studios do, because we aren't really having to chase, especially with this, they're not having to chase realism in any kind of way. With Destiny, it's not faces, right? Like, it doesn't have to look, Cyberpunk I think looks bad, because I don't think it looks very good, but like part of the reason why is that like they're trying to make it look like real life, and that uncanny valley is really deep when you try to get that realistic. Bungie is never really trying to do that, so when they do things like this with Marathon, they can make it look like whatever. It looks like when I close my eyes and think about video games on the PlayStation 2. This is what they look like a little bit. So I'm really excited. The format of it the trailer, it's Ben Starr doing the
By
trailer.
the way, that guy is getting an obscene amount of work.
Listen,
I mean, holy moly.
He's got to feed that dog.
Earned it, but wow. I was like, everything's got Ben Starr in it now. Good for him.
I would love to just take a look at his like schedule, because
his calendar. Like, I mean, we should just ask him at SGF to fucking pull up his schedule and be like,
let me see your Google Calendar.
Let me see your Gcal. Exactly.
Share your Google.
Can we be Google Calendar friends?
Yeah, share it with us. It looks like an insane finished Tetris board. Yeah.
So I'm excited. The thing is, though, right? Like, it is an extraction shooter, so like the the skill floor is really high and the ceiling is really high, and games like that are fun if you are a certain kind of way. And very increasingly, I am realizing that like I am not. That's not. I don't think why I want to come to video games increasingly is for stuff like that. But the shooting's gonna feel really good.
The shooting will feel pretty good.
I'll probably play a lot of it and never be pretty good and never be very good at it, which is, I think, okay. Especially in an environment where it sounds like the game's going to be pretty small when it comes out. So I don't know if there will be enough in there for me to particularly burn myself out on, because I think I might be like, sick. That was worth the $40 I gave you. And I'll come back later when there's more.
Jess, what about you? Were you a Destiny person? I can't remember. And then what did you think of Marathon's reveal? Oh, now we can't hear you. What is happening?
Hi.
What's happening?
That was actually
there you go.
bad.
That was on you?
muted it.
Okay, thank God.
That
There
was me, not the
there was no
internet.
mute icon on the thing, and I was like, oh God, oh brother. All right, sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I muted on my little mic.
I also have one of those, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I played a bit of Destiny 1 when it came out in
Yes.
like 2016, 2014?
2014.
When the fuck did that game come out? Whenever.
Yeah.
So I played
fucked up.
that for probably a year or so. I got really into like Crucible and stuff. It was one of those things where I would like, in fact, what's funny is I think the thing that knocked it from being in my rotation of like, I'm going to come home and just play some Crucible for a few hours to like decompress was Overwatch coming out. So yeah, I played that for a while and I would just do a lot of Crucible. And then I got really into Overwatch, and that became kind of my new decompress shooter. And then when 2 came out, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like buy into this. Like, I liked 1, but I'm not gonna like buy into the hype and pre-order, because I got like the big thing of Destiny 1, and it's like, I'm not gonna do that because I know how I am. I'm gonna play it for a little bit, and I'm not gonna, so I think I got it a little bit after launch. But then I did go, like, I played like the first 3. I played most of the expansions. Like, I haven't done the final shape and the one before that, but other than that, I've played everything. I remember, was it Witch Queen, or like, and like, I like them. I'm one of those people to where it's so, I know that there's some people who are super into the lore and they can like tell you like, okay, like sit down, I'm going to tell you the whole Destiny story. I cannot do that.
Right.
But when I'm actually playing it, love the vibes, love the gameplay. It's all very fun. It's all very pretty to look at. And like with Marathon too, and based on what we've seen of previews, like it looks like it is also going to be like very artsy and cool to look at and visually interesting, and the gunplay is going to be good. So it's like, that's really, I feel like, what you can ask for from that studio. So it's like, I'm excited for it. I will probably do, I don't know. I feel like I'm in the same boat as Niki, where it's like, I'm going to spend $40 on it. I'm going to be very happy, and I'm going to be like, this is a good game. I enjoy playing this. And then at some point I will
give it up.
I just fall off of live service stuff. I'm not that type of I'm not the core demographic for live service games.
No, and I mean, I'm not either. I think y'all are exactly right, though. I mean, I think the gunplay plus the vibes, plus it not looking like anything else out there, that's a combination that's good enough to get me in the door. GameSpot's own Timur Hussein did a hands-on preview. You can go read his thoughts. Kind of came to the conclusion of like, this is really cool and slick and great. I don't know if there's a whole lot here, unless you just like absolutely love extraction shooters, like can't get enough of them. But I agree with a lot of people who have said the first team that gets extraction shooter mechanics into kind of a state where it's super, super accessible and super, super fun is going to make like $1 bazillion. I kind of agree with that. I think like this genre is interesting, but I'm kind of like the rest of us. Like, I don't know if this is my game. I don't know if this is something that I'm going to like play a ton of all the time, but like, yeah, I knew that it would have the color palette. I knew it would be slick, but like, I was very struck by the 8.5 minute cinematic trailer that they released. Like, I really liked that. I think you should go watch it. We will link it in the show notes. Just as a piece of art, I think it's
very,
cool.
very, very cool.
Yeah. Just the way it's shot. Like, if you've ever just really wanted to see something that you probably have not seen before in games, that's one of those things. So yeah, excited for that.
Yeah, I think that's what's so refreshing about it is like a lot of times when games do like cyberpunk or any sort of like, I don't know, this like Mad Max meets neon meets sci-fi. I don't know, like I just feel like there's a lot in that aesthetic that has been done before. But when I was watching everything from Marathon, I'm like, this seems like they actually have like their own artistic vision that they're kind of executing on. And I also just have respect for them like leaning into the artistry, because I mean, I will always be like a style over like fidelity type person, and honestly those games just hold up so much better anyway. Like, it is, I don't know, I'm just not, I've never been someone who's like, look at how realistic this looks, like you can see the pores. I don't really fucking care. I want something that is like interesting. And it definitely is very interesting. It has its own identity. It has its, I mean, I guess it's not all that surprising. Look at like Destiny. Destiny definitely has its own like visual language, for better and worse, when it comes to like UI stuff sometimes. But and it seems like it's going to be very much like that, and I'm really excited to try it out.
Me too. I'm psyched about it. Something else that we got. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Nikki,
I was just gonna say it seems really small though. So the thing that I am torn on and have questions about, the open beta starts next week? Question mark. Is that true?
I think so.
Colin, let me in.
Hey, Colin, let me in.
Colin, I know that's not how it works.
You know what?
I'm
fucking shameless. I'm literally gonna text him right now.
Yeah, text him and say, let me in also. And Jess, all the three of us want to get in.
Okay.
Yes. Let us play.
And then also acknowledge that you know explicitly that that's not how this works.
Yeah.
But say that I want Xbox code. Thanks. I'll take whatever, but whatever. It's gonna be small, and not from a like, oh, it's a $40 game, which is probably how much it's going to cost. We don't have confirmation on that, but just based on Helldivers and Concord, and this is a game that seems to be about scaled that way because it's from the same initiative from Sony. It would 40 to 50 seems correct. There's only a couple of maps.
Yeah.
And I am interested to see how much game there is. Again, especially if you're not trying to, if you aren't the kind of person who is going to commit 20 hours a map, right? Like, yeah, sure, that's 60 hours, but like, I don't know. Like, is that something that you're going to do? Are these maps super dense? Like, probably. Like, Bungie is really good at these things,
I think they're going to be dense, but they've also, like, and it's both kind of cool and a red flag. They, in the gameplay thing, were like, there's weather, and you never know what you're going to get. When you start, it's like, okay, so this means what you're trying to tell us is that it's a little bit, we'll talk about it in a second, it's a little bit like what Mario Kart did with costumes. They basically just said these are all new characters actually that you
like,
so
no,
it's like no, that's not really what that is.
Same one now. So, sometimes it's nighttime.
So you've got
the same one.
You've got 3 maps, and now it's raining in one of them. That's not an extra map. Like, so you know, there's a little bit of that. I agree.
It's kind of artificial inflation of what you're getting.
Yeah, because if you do count the different iterations, if you have rain, snow, sun, plus night, day, and then 3, exponentially, that means you have like 72 or whatever fucking variants of the map. But like,
well, we just kind of actually saw this with a different game called Fragpunk, which like I think I might have played the most of that out of the 3 of us. I'm gonna guess that I did. And like, it doesn't have that many maps, but they're like, yeah, but like every round is different because you got this like modifier, and it's like that novelty though only kind of lasts about a half an hour, and then it's like, is this, you know, the maps all being the same and not being that many of them starts to become very noticeable, and it's such an important ingredient in a game like that, and it's an important ingredient in a game like Marathon. So unless you know they're super super big or dense or whatever. I do have concerns, I suppose.
I don't know. I have trust in them, I guess, because it's like
Yeah.
maps that are about the size of a third of a patrol map in Destiny, but with the density of a Halo map. Sounds tasty.
Yeah.
Have they been given the space and room to cook is a different question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, when you consider all the bullshit that's been going on the last couple years,
Yeah,
like
those teams are impacted. Like
it's a hell of a time to be developing a game during all that.
So we'll see. I'm excited to play it. Confirmed. Colin has gotten back to us already. He's actually given us codes right now. I'm typing them in.
Wow, we're in. We're
playing
in.
it. We're all playing it.
Wow,
actually
we're
right
all playing
now.
it right now. You
Wow.
did. I did actually message him, and I thought you really meant that you got something, and I was like, oh no, I have no response.
I have no
Colin's
idea.
probably looking at it right now, like, John, you can't do this to me. No. Hey, I woke up at the fucking crack to watch the Mario Kart.
Why?
I don't know, because I wanted to watch it. Because
Okay,
that game
fine.
looks good to me.
No, for sure, absolutely. But it was
It
still
does
there
look
when
good.
you would have woken up normally.
It's the first one of these that I think I've given a shit about in a long time. So
What was the last
will
Mario
say-
Kart you loved?
DS.
Jess?
I like 8 fine. Like I
Yeah.
it's weird because like I've never been like I don't open up my Switch and I'm like I want to play some Mario Kart. Like I just tend to not like it. For me it's like I need to be drunk with friends or something like that, or like people are just over and we had an edible and now we want something to look at on the TV.
Yeah.
That's when I play Mario Kart.
Absolutely.
So I mean like I like 8 enough, right? Because it provides me that whenever the situation arises. But I feel like the last one that I maybe really loved was Double Dash, which is probably a very popular hot take.
Nikki and I both we diverge on so many things, but what are the things we fucking hate Monster Hunter. We fucking hate Double Dash.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
really?
it's for some reason we're just like simpatico on those things.
Stand.
What's up with Double Dash? Why
It
the
feels
hate?
horrible. It feels so bad. All those fuckers slide around all the time. The swapping of the guys sucks. You can't it doesn't feel like I have any control. It's smeary as fuck when you've got more than one person on the screen.
That's so funny.
But I acknowledge that a lot of people with very good taste.
Yeah,
No,
I thought that I
absolutely.
said I like Double Dash, and it was basically
No,
going to be like I
it's-
like Pikachu.
I think on any fucking other podcast, like
Yeah,
in
no,
the youth, this would have
absolutely.
been like, yeah,
That's
hell yeah,
so
Jess, and we're
funny.
just like, get the fuck off of our show, Double
The
Dash
fuck
liker.
No,
so funny.
I'm shocked actually that they haven't put that Double Dash specifically. Oh, but maybe they will now that the GameCube games are in the
They might.
Good call,
backwards
good call.
compatible. No, it's not
might.
backwards compatible, but you know what I'm talking
You know.
about.
Yeah.
They might toss that one in there because I have multiple friends who are wrong, just like you, Jess.
Yes.
Who have a Switch,
There are dozens of us.
who have a Switch and still are carrying around their GameCube. Courtney, Beta, I'm looking at you. Carry around their GameCubes so they can play Double Dash, even though they have a Nintendo Switch that
Carry
can
them
play a good one.
around.
Not like carry around, like have in their house.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
Not like
I was
well,
like, wow, they really
there's
like
my-
getting that
there's a-
handle and
there's a Fendi in one hand and a GameCube in the other, and they're just walking around, just like, here I am.
got my Birkin and my GameCube.
Yeah. Do you need chapstick or do you need Double Dash? Just like let me know which one you need.
So yeah,
That's really fun.
So yeah, they did this little direct. I'm kind of confused. I go back and forth on whether or not I like these individual game directs.
Ooh, I don't think I do mostly. I think
because
there is nothing. I will say there's nothing they said today that they could not have said a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Like there's
And it
nothing.
feels
that they've said today.
there's like a yes, that's exactly right. There's the artificiality of
Yeah.
the drip.
Yes.
Feels like okay. And at this point, we're close enough to the game being out.
Yeah.
I'll just wait until I fucking play it. It's Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a bunch of new stuff in it, it is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You can jump different now, though.
I will run down a list of the things that we did get confirmed that are like our actual announcements that they could have put in a couple weeks ago, but we didn't know. The free roam mode is not just like driving around wherever. There's a ton of shit to unlock. So there are P blocks and little missions and stuff you can do. So it kind of fleshes out the open world. That's something I expected, but it was nice to have that confirmation. The costumes that you pick up from the food basically turns into costumes, and those become individual entries in the character select screen. So you start with like 4 pages of characters, and then it gets up to like fucking 15 pages. But most of those are just copied, costume dupes, basically, which is annoying. That those are not separate characters.
You've been able to switch skins in Super Smash Bros. Like that series since the 64.
Yes.
You're telling me you couldn't make it to where I can just click the character, really?
100%.
I love the idea that you're going to have to sort by Marios. And then instead of showing you one Mario, there's going to be a grid of 15 Marios on the screen. I think it's funny.
It is funny. It is funny. You can actually do a charge jump in this, which makes the feather pickup a little strange because the feather pickup is a jump. I guess you don't have to charge if you're doing that, but you can do a charge jump to basically get up on rails to avoid obstacles, all that stuff. That's kind of fun and cool. And just another thing I noticed is it looks like they've reworked, recomposed, and re-recorded a bunch of soundtrack entries from the entire Mario canon for this game. So from Yoshi's story, from Mario 2, from fucking N64, from Super Mario 64. They played the Super Mario 64 theme as they showed a penguin driving off a cliff, which really funny.
Good job.
Good job. Someone's really smart. We saw a little bit more Donkey Kong, which people are actually fucking being really weird
super
about.
Normal. No.
So not normal about the new Donkey Kong.
He's questionable, John.
People are so weird about the new Donkey Kong. They're like, he's not big and serious and tough anymore. I need the monkey daddy to be very, very serious with me. It's very strange.
Yeah. It's always so funny when there's just a small thing that's existed for 30, 40 years and no one gives a shit. And just something like this happened. And it's I swear to God, 2 weeks ago, you did not care. It's okay. You're fine. You're okay.
Care. You weren't thinking about Donkey Kong this hard.
Yeah. I've never thought about Donkey Kong's eyes.
No, who cares?
I've never thought about Donkey Kong's eyes. It's true.
I'm excited for this video game. There were a couple of things that I thought were classic Nintendo.
Okay.
You join a lot, and this is so deeply wow,
I know.
This still really is your third online video game.
I know.
You join a lobby. They have not explained how you do that, which means that it fucking sucks to do.
Yes.
You join the lobby with your friends. You can free roam. They did not specify if you could do any of the open world stuff like the P blocks or that exploration stuff. They did not say if you could do that with friends or not.
You see, you have to have insight, and then you have to ring a hunter's bell. And then they can join the game.
Only way. Then they can join. At the bottom of the screen, at all times, it just says start game, press plus.
Oh no.
The whole time. There are
Was
multiple
it designed
clips.
for an arcade cabinet?
That's what it feels like. It feels like you're playing the attract screen.
Oh.
It's so inexplicable to me. Because very clearly they don't want you to do it. They want you to get in there and use it as a lobby so that you can then go do the regular races and not fuck around on the map the whole time. Because if that was the case, then you would be able to just join in free roam and they wouldn't be trying to push you out of it. I don't think that you're going to be able to do the P block stuff or the deeper exploration stuff with other people. I think you are going to be able to drive around in the space with other people and then race. And I think or do the battle mode. And I think that's it. But that
Well, it's
is
kind
me
of
just reading a lot into one UI element being on the screen at all times.
no, I think that you're right though, and I think that it overall, I mean, it's so funny because we just talked about this with Bungie and with the maps and marathon and stuff, and it's like it even kind of ties into this game having its whole like its own little showcase this morning, right? Where there's just
Yeah.
so much of that artificial inflation of content because they want to prove that it's like you made it $80 because you know that people will pay $80 for a Mario game, like a Mario
Yeah,
Kart
and
game. Like
that's
that's why you
okay.
did it.
That's
And that's
fine.
okay. Just fucking own it. Just own it. Because like you did this whole their showcase today, and it's like you could have just thrown in everything that you went over today, like tack on 2 extra minutes into the presentation you already did, and we'd be covered, we'd be good.
Yes.
But like you wanted to have the secondary thing to like roll out another red carpet for this game to make it feel grander than it is. And it's like you're just at that point, I get hyping up your own stuff, but when you do that, you're also asking for more eyes to be on it. And with more eyes comes more scrutiny. So it's like, do you really want this? Because like, you know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that you look at and you're like, well, that's cool. It looks like a great game. It looks fun. I will get it because it's Mario Kart and I like to have stuff to play with friends and it'll be good for that. But like, I don't know. You don't need to treat it like it's the second coming.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just Mario Kart 9.
It's just Mario
It's
Kart.
not.
Yeah.
I am thinking that this one is going to be decisive amongst normal people because there was a thing in there and it kind of was a little bit of a throwaway. They were like, you have to drive to the next course.
Yep.
And it's hard to know because like none of us have played it. I don't know how far the courses are in between, but even if you're doing a Grand Prix, you finish the race, you got to drive to the next one. I feel like there are going to be people who are like, I don't want to do that.
So
I agree.
The way this looked, though, I think people had that concern when I was watching the past couple of directs that had Mario Kart in it. The way this appears to work, based on the treehouse footage that I've seen, and then from the other stuff, is that like maybe we're talking maybe like a 15% longer each time.
Yes.
But it's essentially like the race starts now for the next thing. Like on the way there, you're racing. You're racing on the way there. So what it's doing is it's doing checkpoints as laps, like Forza Horizon. So
I thought that was the knockout tour.
It's both. From what I understood during the
That's
treehouse.
really confusing.
Now, if you're at home and you watched all this stuff and you're like, no, John, you're a fucking moron. I can't believe how dumb you are. Just write on the Discord or send me a message on Blue Sky. But when I watched all 30 minutes of them doing the Grand Prix mode and the knockout mode, and it looks like when you're doing the Grand Prix mode and you're quote unquote driving to the next one, the race starts then and you're hitting checkpoints that are moving the lap counter.
I understand.
Okay. So it feels like a little bit inflated for them to be like, well, you're now doing this other thing in addition to starting it's like I think it might be a 15%
it's kind of like
increase, but not like it's not like doubling what you're doing, which would I think be like a non-starter for a lot of people.
Yeah. It reminds me of like there's that one level in 8, right, where it's like you're skiing essentially, and it's not you're not doing laps, you're just going straight down. So kind of I guess is like that, where it's more you're just like your laps are divisions of the actual track itself and not circuits.
I think they're giving up the idea that it has to be a circuit. It looks like there are a couple of circuits, but like they've built these to essentially be these more open-ended, like, you know, okay, you're at the end, but you have not made a full loop kind of courses. So like that's what it appears to be to me. But I still do have the concern kind of though of like if this is a get in, get out with your friends, not only the grid size has ballooned to 24. So how many people are going to be in and out of these things?
Awesome.
Like, you know,
for the most annoying person you know to come in 19th now.
Right.
I think that's great.
I mean, that is great. That is great. But it's like there are factors here that are making me go, like for a sicko like me, it's making me more likely to fire this game up by myself. But for the normal fan of this game, this seems like friction to me, like in a way that I don't think the other ones have had.
Because I wonder if Nintendo's argument would be like, oh, actually, the amount of time between the end of one race and the start of another one is about the same amount of time that ending the race in Mario Kart 8 and pressing the button, having the game load the next one, watching the intro movie, and then starting the next one. I'm sure they probably have timed that out such to be like, well, that takes 30 seconds. That takes 30 to 45 seconds, 45 seconds generously. If we're going to just have the whole map stream into you open, because it's an open world game, that's about how long it's going to take you to get from point B to point C. I wonder if that is the argument, but we'll have to wait until the game comes out because they're pretty bad at answering questions.
I'll deliver my one take that I don't even remember. I was like joking with friends and I said this like years ago, but it still rings true. Is my one dumb take is I don't mind having loading screens because it gives me a little break. Gives me a little time to make sure that nobody's texted me, that I can take a little drink. So like that's because I remember we were joking about like, oh, but if you get like, this so much faster loading times, and I'm like, I don't mind the 15 seconds. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of my thought with the track. It's like you're going from. I mean, I don't know how long the average Mario, like maybe 3 minutes or something like that. You're going from 3 minutes of like playing this to, okay, you get like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, relax, whatever. Then you go back to it to where it's like, you are just going to be going now instead for like 10 minutes straight.
Yeah, you're locked in for 10. Yeah.
Like that's
if I'm playing a match of, for sure.
It is. Yeah. It's like much more intense vibe. Like if I'm playing something like Overwatch, I kind of know that I'm getting in on that. But like when you have a bunch of people who are hanging over at your house, like just friends hanging out, it's like to know that you have to be locked in holding this controller for 10 minutes straight. Like that's kind of, for a party game, that's kind of intense.
It stresses me out a little bit. If I have watched this and been like, all right, when I go play this online, I know that I'm just going to be sitting there for 25 minutes without. Like I'm now committing to like something that feels a little bit bigger. Like it feels almost like I'm committing to a Helldivers run or like, where it's like, okay, well, I don't know if I come to this for that feeling, but okay.
If you finish a race and you come in fourth, do you not then start the next race also in fourth? What's the point?
Yeah, what they've done is they've essentially just gotten rid of the idea of like now that you have a new starting grid and it's based on the positions you were. It's kind of like
you don't do that anymore.
You don't do that anymore,
okay.
And I guess
because it's rolling starts too now, which I think is fun.
I guess what I'm okay now it's time for me to reveal that I actually now do think I am confused about how these two modes work because they very explicitly said in Grand Prix mode now you just drive to the next track. They've said that. I've watched the Clubhouse where they do that. The problem is that the routing might be different, but also the problem. Oh, you're right. The routing is different.
Yeah,
because it's like knockout is longer and it's different courses. So I think that might be the difference because otherwise, like I don't really see the difference except that one of them knocks you out if you're lower.
Yeah.
So how far behind can you get?
Maybe it's just that, man. If only anybody knew.
If only they had explained in the individual showcase they held this morning.
That's such a good idea, Jess. They should have done 15 individual specific minutes just on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Well,
it's weird.
Been
cool. We'll find out. We'll find out on June 8th.
We'll find out on June 5th when we live in Estonia and can get one there, but not here. Anyway, Nikki, you've been playing a lot of Blueprints, and now you don't like it anymore.
I don't like that game anymore.
Can you talk to me about Blueprints, which is a game that I like quite a lot, but like people have been deranged about online.
Okay,
so
there was a period of time where people were like,
they've been really deranged about it.
People were like, "Well, this game defies definition. We can't."
It doesn't.
What does it? Like, there's no way to talk about. No, gang.
No, you can talk about
it. It's Balatro and there's mist in there.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all they did. It's a click 'em.
It's
You
a
walk
click 'em.
around, you click stuff.
Yeah. It's
It's
not
pretty
that
easy to
complicated.
describe, actually.
Now, I will say when
It's
what
like there are.
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say like there's cleverness in there, right? Like the
Yeah.
more you do stuff with like the power grid and even like the foundation and like having to have the door facing like the one side so you can hit the operating like there is some stuff in there that's like very cool and interesting. And like
Yeah.
for instance, like if I were to review the game, right? And like I'm just this is my lazy way of just saying how much I would give it like 8.5, 9, or you know what I mean? Something like it'd be somewhere in the 8 to 9 thing.
Right.
But I know a lot of people act like it is the greatest game, like it
It's
is
a
for
12.
sure goaty of you know, and it's like I'm not there. I think it's really fun. I'm having a really good time with it. It's like, you know, I've been playing it with Andrew, and it's fun to be like, oh, okay, let's do our little like puzzles tonight and do like, you know,
sure.
we'll each do 2 days or something like that. And, you know, like it's fun, but I don't know. I don't hold it to the same esteem as it seems like a lot of our peers do.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing against that. I totally get it. It's a fun game, but just
I totally
not
get it.
up.
Yeah.
I also, and I want to be really careful because it's a thing that definitely has spoilers that are mechanical, and I do think that when this game swims, it really is nice. Like the amount, like when you have momentum in this game where you're solving stuff, getting through like, and it's progressing. It is like it is kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not incredible from a mechanical perspective.
Yeah.
It is incredible because my brain is working. So, which is like, yes, that is the game. The game is the one that's doing that, but like, I'm getting myself
Finally.
off. You know,
finally, something got Nikki to think. Finally,
yeah, like
I can't believe it.
I was like, it's not the vibrator. I'm getting myself.
No,
off.
I'm getting myself off. Like it's not the game. Like that's on me.
Just yelling at your Hitachi. You think you did this? Fuck you.
I control the buttons I press, you know? So it's me. So it's like, yes, the game is enabling that, but it's like I am thinking, and that is the part of the game that is fun.
Right. Yeah.
So my problem with it currently is that I had such a good 4 hours with the game on Tuesday. Where I made an unbelievable amount of progress. Like, I made so much progress. I am now in the end game. It has been 2 days. I have made zero progress. It feels horrible. And it's not because of anything. The game really relies on you, the player, making the connections in your mind to put the stuff together. Now we're out of that point. Now I'm butting my head up against a brick wall because so much of this game is RNG, that I can't control. Where I'm like, okay, well, like, what the fuck? Like, how long is it going to take? How many runs? How much time do I now feel like I'm wasting? Like, I doesn't feel like I'm productive in the amount of time. It's like, yeah, like I know exactly what I need to do, and the game is not letting me do it.
Yeah, I 1,000%. That's so valid. Like I definitely get that. And I would imagine that that's one of the hardest things with making a roguelite or roguelike, you know, is like you have to ensure that the things that carry over are meaningful enough to where like you're giving players a sense of like agency and being somewhat in control of a lot of random shit. And I do think from what I've experienced, because it's like you get, without going too much into spoilers, but you get like what 4 extra rooms or whatever, and you get you know, like you have an allowance, so you'll start with more money, and like you have all these things that do exist to kind of be like, you did this so many times and now you get this little bonus and this makes it easier the next time. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like there's anything that's like meaningful enough to where it's like you get to the point where you are, Nikki, where it's like, you know what you need to do. You've done this a million times, and now you just need to not get fucked over by, you know, and there's certain things that you can do to like, you know,
you can
counter that,
it.
but
the connection that I have made just now in my brain, when you're really struggling in the video game Fortnite, that game will increase the number of bots in your lobby
Right.
until you start feeling like you're having a good time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a dynamic number. If you're really struggling, they're like, have a fucking W, bud. Like, get in there. And I understand that the loop in that game is completely different. Their goal is they're actively trying to extract money from you.
But you're
Jess, you're still here.
You're still
you just
here.
don't
You're
have
still
video.
here. You still
I
have
don't-
video.
I don't know why it just turned off randomly.
That's okay.
It's
That's
okay.
so weird. I'll
It's
figure it
okay.
out. But I'm still here.
Okay,
I
you're
still
still
listen.
here.
Good.
There's manipulation that is happening. And like for me, a person who plays video games for money,
Yes.
I can see it.
Right.
For most people, they aren't noticing that. That is like that. So which means that actually it's great and it definitely is working. There's no reason why after you check, like after you mark these flags in this game, the game is not like, okay, great.
Oh, here you go.
Here you go. Like you just did this. You're out of it.
Right.
Absolutely. Congratulations. You just did this. We are going to railroad you to
The finish.
the next thing.
Right.
So you can finish the fucking video game.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can see the next thing. And like, and sure, it could be after 5, like the first 4 are, fuck around. You hit the 5th one and they're like, okay, absolutely go. There's that hand holding does not feel like it is there in the way that like I desperately think the game would be better served for.
I'm going to actually continue the metaphor. Like this feels like the game thinks it's edging you, but this isn't edging. like no, really. It's like once you get, it's like I've gone on the journey. Like we've done the teasing, we've done everything.
I've done it.
And I'm like, I'm at the fucking precipice and I'm starting to get mad at you.
Blueprints, more like blue balls.
Yeah, fucking got it. But it's like that's what to me. It's like I think if you do get up to that makes sense. What I hear, because I'm not far enough in this game to really know, but it's like if you're banging your head against the door to finish this feels like how it would feel to me if the purpose of playing Balatro for me was to get one of those insane like 800 trillion number score with like a million I don't give
exponential. No,
I don't give a fuck about doing that.
Yeah.
So if you get to the point in Blueprints where it's like, okay, you're just waiting for that Joker to show up that gets you that's annoying as fuck. Like that's really annoying. Now you can start manipulating that stuff in Balatro, but I don't know if you can start manipulating it to that degree in Blueprints.
And from what I can tell, you cannot.
Right.
Because fundamentally you can change the cards that are in the deck. There are ways to do that, but like I have been trying
to get just a combination of things to happen.
And it just doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, and sometimes it's like I'm mostly there, but I can't rotate the fucking rooms. So the room, I get the room, but actually if I pick the room, it blocks me off. So I can't actually even get to the point I'm trying to get to. So it's like, I do everything right, and they still indicted me. You know, like there's no.
It's just like it's frustrating when it's like you're like, there's no way I could have avoided this outcome.
Yes,
and like that's very annoying because it's like there is nothing on
minutes?
my end that like could have. It's like there were no more dice, there's no more keys, there's no more gems, so it's not like I could pick that. Like there, I have no options. And it's not like each time that you do this, each day you're guaranteed to like, oh, but now you can put points into this, so you'll like you can't synergize to that degree. There's not that many knobs to turn, so it gets frustrating. It makes sense.
But I will say I feel like we just dunked on this game that I actually do really
it's good. It's really good.
It's a really good game.
It's excellent. Like the vibes are really good. The music is incredible. I hit like the you've made a discovery music in this game is some of the most handholdy, like you just did the thing. It does sound like celebration in your brain kind of stuff. The ways that some of the items that you pick up can interact is really unexpected. I just put together a bunch of items like on just a run that I did the other day, and I was like, why would I be able to do that?
Yeah.
which is really nice. There's a bunch of the number of puzzles in this game that I know are puzzles, but I have literally no idea what to do with them.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to me because I do know that they all have answers.
Yeah.
So every time I see something new about it, I'm like, oh, let me fucking rifle through my notes about it to see. Like, this is all of this whole page is just one fucking puzzle.
God.
And it's like I don't
scribblings of a madman.
It's like, I have no idea what this will lead to.
My husband
But it
just
does
sent
lead to
me,
something.
Yes. No, my husband just sent me because like whenever he takes the notes versus when I do in our game that we're playing together, it's like he'll just put down a few bullet points and then I'm just like, and so he sent me a photo and it's like this one guy who highlights the entire fucking page of a textbook and it's like it's all important. That's really me. It's just it's all important.
It's all important. It's all
what
vital.
are the number of tiles in this room?
Yeah, like how many tiles are there? What time is it? There's a lot of clocks in this game. What does it mean?
The fucking I don't know what's up with the den yet, so no spoilers. But every time I go in there, Andrew gives me so much shit.
Why are there
there's
so many
something with the clocks.
Yeah.
There's
Why
something
so
with the
many
fucking clocks.
Yeah.
Like I sound like MAGA. Why are there so many?
No.
There's something. I don't like it.
Well, like this is super early, but the first time I got the dart puzzle in the billiard room,
Oh yeah.
my ass was counting like the balls on the counter.
Oh yeah.
The chalks, the sticks.
so
I'm like
funny.
going over there and I'm going, what about this one? And it's just like, no. I'm like, what could they fucking be? I went over to the bottles in the bar.
Edition.
I'm like, 7 bottles? It's 7. And I think like 7 was the first number and I clicked it. It's like, yep. And I was like, whoa. I just like, it took me like 10 minutes, but like once I figured it out, I was like, oh.
It
And
is
you
the
start to just do that
funniest
over and over
the
again.
numbers
This
of
is really
those
good.
O's is really good. There was a puzzle that I was taking notes for
Yep.
wrong.
Yep.
And I thought I was so
I did
fucking
that too.
smart. I was like, I know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what this is.
Is it the pictures?
And then I read a book
I did the
that
same
was like,
fucking thing.
yeah, I read a book that was like, you're not doing it right. And I was like, motherfuck. So then I had to start over. Like all of the progress that I had made on the puzzle.
I did the same thing. I thought it was room versus location. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was writing all of this shit down, and then I realized I'm like, it's a fucking grid. Like, I have to-
It's a good.
And I was so mad. But yeah, so I know I did the same thing.
That's really good. That's
So
really good.
I think the game's pretty good, except for the parts that I don't like.
Yeah.
Except for the parts that you don't like.
So that's my criticism.
That's your crit.
They're calling me the Austin Walker of video games.
You can hear Nikki's 4 hours of blueprints crit over on whatever
Side Story.
Story.
Yeah.
Glad that's back. All right. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Actually, now in earnest, because a million years ago I put it down because I was like, this game is so fucking bloated. I don't like it. It's bad. It stinks. It's horrible. Everything I love about remake, they basically stripped away. I just want to spend time with my friends. I don't want to do any of this bullshit. When I picked it back up 2 weeks ago, I said, what if I just didn't give a fuck about anything else except for doing the game?
Yeah.
Great game. Really good game.
Yeah.
If I just put everything about it I don't like in a different room, it's really good. And I keep saying that this game is bloated, but I'm now determined that's a lazy way to say this. The game is full of content that is not good. Frankly, like it's not just that there's a lot to do; it's just that a lot of it sucks. And the stuff that really, really works, the like moment to moment, like story beat stuff, and a lot of the battles that you go through, and a lot of like the locations you visit, are actually really interesting and still really lovely. And I've made a ton of progress in this game, and I think it's a lot of fun. Now, am I under leveled? Yes. Am I like a million levels behind in Queen's Blood? And every time I enter a town, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're like a baby. You don't even know anything. Who are you?" All that stuff is happening, and I'm sad about it. I just wanted to say,
Can you spend real
I'm
money
kind of liking it.
to level up about it?
No.
Damn.
Mhm.
Would you? In this specific scenario, this is a thing that I never would endorse. But in this specific
I don't think I
scenario where
would
you
in
aren't
this.
engaging with the open world bullshit, but you're deeply underleveled, would you kick them $15 to get Cloud and his pals to the correct level so you didn't have to struggle your way through fights?
I wouldn't do that, but I would like figure out the way to get a save file onto my machine
PlayStation?
that
Yeah, no,
did
for
that.
sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would do that. Jess, I know you played Rebirth, right? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah. Did you do you like this game? What
Uh,
is yeah?
So
You loved
I
it.
loved it
Yeah,
because I mean,
right.
I like it's so funny. Whenever I was playing it, I went so sicko mode on that game. I wasn't even the one who was reviewing it for us. I don't remember why. Oh, because Tam did the first part and he was like, "Yeah, since I did the first
Yeah,
part, we'll
but
keep it
consistency.
consistent. I'll do the second
Right.
one." I'm like, "Totally fine." He's like, "But don't worry, like I'm still going to give you a code for it." So I got the
Yeah.
code like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before the game came out.
Yeah.
I think I beat the game in like 5 or 6 days. Like I
Woo-hoo! All
just like, and
right.
that was like I put like 70 hours into it. So I mean that tells you
Yeah.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
And like I really I loved it. I loved it
Yeah.
a lot. But at the same time, I can admit that I love it and I do see the faults in it and stuff like that. Like to me, I was like, this is a perfect game. I never want to not be playing this game.
Yeah.
But you know, for instance, when we did Game of the Year conversations last year, there were a lot of people who were really upset that like Final Fantasy actually wasn't in our top 10.
Yeah.
And it was in my top 10. It was like number
Yeah.
3 for me. You know, like I love that game. But whenever, you know, we were in discussions about kicking it out of our top 10, everybody kind of turns to me like, are you going to defend it? Are you going to?
Fight
And I
for
was like,
it.
no,
Fight,
I'm like,
fight.
I'm like, I'm not going to fight for it because I'm going to use up my annoying fight for it on something else. So I'm not going to, like, I get it. I love that game.
Yeah.
It is on my list. It has a place in my heart, but it is deeply flawed. And I get the people who don't like all the extra shit that is not as fun because
No.
it's not.
But there is like a flow it gets into. I think really I was
Yeah.
struggling with like I was struggling with the open world area near Junon, and I thought the boat ride was just like a little bit too long between the continents. I was like, they really padded this out with stuff that you have to do, which I was frustrated with. But like, I've gotten into this like thing where I'm like, okay, I did the crazy thing. Spoilers for a game that's like a year old at this point, but like, you know, I did this crazy thing where Tifa gets swallowed by the fucking weapon,
Yeah.
and like all that stuff was like really compelling, and you're following her around, and I just like the second chunk of this game, I would say, you meet Sid, you go to Cosmo Canyon, like that. All that stuff has been hitting so hard for me that I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, like I think I probably owed it to myself to just like strip away the stuff I don't like as much as I can and try to get through it. So if you're like me, because I know a lot of you are out there, especially in our Discord, who bounced off of this because of that bloat, you can kind of get yourself out of it. And also, like if the game is too hard, just put it down to easy. Who gives a shit? Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who's grading you on that?
Not
No
me.
one. Not
Yeah.
me.
It's a better way to
Not
play
me.
video games anyway.
Better way to play it. Just go through it. So I've been doing that. Jessica, what have you been playing? Have you been playing anything?
I've been playing some blueprints.
Okay.
So I mean, I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I've been playing a little bit, like I've started it, so playing is kind of like I don't what's the word I'm looking for? It's
Like
I've
generous.
started it. Yes, too
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
generous. There we go. But I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I've started Claire Obscura.
Okay.
Because
Great.
that game comes out next week.
Yeah, it comes out in a week.
Yeah. So I mean
Cool.
that's really it. And
Great.
I kind of gave my feelings on blueprints. I think it's really fun, and I'm at
Yeah.
the point where I'm still hitting discoveries enough to where like I don't have that frustration, but I can
Yes.
totally already see like kind of the cracks in the foundation and like how you know what I mean. So like everything you're saying, Nikki, I'm like
That's a
I
good
felt
joke.
yeah. I'm like I can see why you'd say that, and it's kind of like what I feared would be a thing. Overall,
Yeah.
great experience though.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
Yeah, I just
mhm.
feel like where I'm at now on that metaphor is I can the other discoveries or behind a glass box that I can see with my eyes.
Ah.
And I just can't
Yeah.
get in there.
Yeah.
So I'll turn this off and I'll finish this podcast and I'll go back in there and I'll
Back to the
remember where I
mines.
was in the run I was doing before this.
Yeah.
And then it won't work. And I'll do it again until I get mad.
Back to the Blueprints mines for Nikki.
Ugh.
Have you been playing anything else, Nikki?
I started South of Midnight, which literally means I started it, watched 5 minutes of the first cutscene, and said, "I have to go back and finish Blueprints." First.
Yeah. I'm not playing more of South of Midnight. I thought I would before we recorded this podcast. I haven't. I still think that's a much more interesting game than I expected it to be. I think. Just in terms of kind of its structure and its themes. Battle system still is, combat's like still a little, I think, it's just basic, but it's.
I'd say I've heard that the combat is generic, but like not necessarily derogatory, right? Like it's serviceable.
No.
I've heard that it leans a lot more into horror than I thought it would, though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's definitely like, creepy stuff happening, but also, just like emotional creepy stuff happening too. So it's like it's interesting.
Dark subject matter.
Something I'm realizing as I get older.
Yes.
Is that I have less bandwidth, I think, to play more than one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that is, because there was a period of time where I would have, like, when we were at Fanbyte, John.
Yeah.
I could be playing like 3 or 4 things at the same time, kind of like bouncing between them and making progress in all of them. But now, like, feels impossible. Like yesterday I tried to play Fortnite and I got pissed. I think I was already kind of pissed off. But like I was trying to play Fortnite and I was like, I don't want to be doing this. Like, I don't want to be doing this. If I was going to play something right now, I would be playing Blueprints, but I'm mad at that, so I don't actually think I want to be playing anything right now.
Yeah.
Which I can't tell if is like just a me thing, but it sounds like maybe it is not. So
no, I don't. I have trouble doing that.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and it's funny that you say that because it's not something that I really think about. But yeah, I used to even be able to do that shit with like book series. Like if I was in the middle of one series that like, because if something is like 6 books long, right? You get through 2 of them and you're like, "Whoo, I need a break." But it's hard for me to even do that shit now cuz like my mind is still just like in that. So I'm like I start reading something else and I'm just like, "Oh, I should just finish up that." And I do the same thing with games too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. C'est la vie. All right. Hey, let's answer some Hive questions. Every single week, you can go to vgbs.com/join. Join the Hive. If you join the Hive, you can go to our wonderful Discord, which is free to join. But if you are a Hive member, you can go down to the Hive category, go to the Hive content channel, ask us questions. We have a lot of really good ones this week, and we will start with.
Yeah, a lot of good questions. I'm looking
a lot of good ones, actually. Listen, folks, VGB's Hive, I love you. Some weeks y'all are batting like 200, okay? Like, it's just, and it, you know what? The fucking Texas Rangers are batting 200, and they do it professionally.
Yeah, they're being paid to do it.
They're being paid to do it. So, like, it's not you, okay? It's just the state of the world. It's hard to come up with good questions. This week, y'all are batting like 800. It's like kind of great. It's like if Aaron Judge and Babe Ruth were on like the same lineup. Mike Trout, Ohtani, all up and down. It's really good. Let's start with maybe my favorite one, which is so simple. But Jason just asked, "What music are y'all digging lately?" Which I love talking about music. So.
I've been blasting "Anxiety" by Doechii.
Sure.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Because Nikki just can't get enough of that. Of that fucking song.
I love Gautier.
Gautier, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I saw Doechii was it last week? Week and a half ago.
That's cool.
Which was a lot of fun, and then I was like, damn, remember Doechii? From 3 months ago.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's been really that song is really, really good. I love a sample. And I think this is how I know I'm old.
Mm-hmm.
is that she's sampling a song that I listened to when I was a child.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so fun. And then it's also like, oh, damn.
Whoops.
It's like one of those things where, if you're old enough to where artists start sampling songs you grew up with, you might need to think about like grabbing one of those handles to help you get out of your car and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. What about you, Jess?
Lucy Dacus just came out with a new album. It's really good if you're into the moody girl music. But I feel like this album's a little bit more like lovey because now she's with Julian Baker.
She is lovey now. Yeah. That's very exciting.
So yeah, that's like
Do you think,
what I've been listening to.
Jess, I feel like you may be poised to talk about this with me.
Yes.
And if not, that's okay. Do you think Lord's music got worse because she got happy and rich?
You know what's funny? Like, yeah, I
Yes,
think. Well, okay,
right?
so I think that part of it is like she just captured like adolescence and like being like and like that awkwardness so well. And then with Solar Power, she was like, I'm gonna be cheeky and I'm gonna talk about, but it's like, how can you be cheeky when you also give off the vibe that you're subscribed to all of this because you're rich now?
Yeah, you're rich
You know what
now.
I mean? It's like
Yeah.
It's
like
and so I don't know. It does strike. It strikes me as she can't like tap back into that.
Yeah.
No, which is so fair.
Yes,
but I feel like she should just start making different music. But that's probably why she hasn't made an album in a minute.
It would be really funny to listen to her sing the songs from that album. It's like tennis courts, like like those rich people can see from space. It's like, that's you, Lord.
You now.
That's you.
Now.
You live in this. You live in the zip codes you didn't like.
You live there. That's you now. That's really funny. That's a good question. I'm listening to this. I'm never beating the 40-year-old white man allegations. I'm listening to Bon Iver's new album.
Oh, wow.
Sable Fable, very good.
Does the tinned fish come out of the fucking iPod when you listen to it, brother?
For those who missed it, I literally got an email from a fish wife, the tinned fish company, that was like, guess what? Bon Iver's got a new album out, and we're collabing with him on a new fish. And I was like,
I thought that Nikki just did a very precise roast.
No.
It was a really good roast. It would have been great, but it literally happened. So I had to, it was so embarrassing.
Very good.
But it's a great album. He promoted the album by playing a fucking pickup game of basketball in LA, which was super funny to me. He's actually like pretty good. He had like a good fadeaway. I watched most of that game. He has a song he did with Danielle Haim called "If Only I Could Wait" from that album, which I think is very good. I've been getting really into Big Thief, which is a kind of a weird folky band. Yeah. And they do a song called "Simulation Swarm," which will undoubtedly be number one on my Spotify because I think I have listened to it literally 200 times in the past 202 weeks, which is crazy. Actually, it's really weird. I got really fixated on it. Faye Webster doesn't have a new album, but I've just been loving her stuff for the past couple weeks. I've also been listening to a lot of Death Grip, so it's like cool. It's no big deal. Like it's just I'm regular. Fine.
You're just normal.
On a different podcast, I mentioned I'm losing my hair, and I'm also just listening to a lot of Death Grip. So like everything is like good. Everything's fine.
You're just fine.
I'm just fine. But that's a really good question. Thank you for asking it, Jason. I want to make sure I get this one. Sphinx asked last week's, bringing it up today. What game comes to mind that was received as a mediocre game, but has somehow retained its retail price from when it was released? Now, we don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of this, but his example is Forspoken, a game that is, by most accounts, pretty mediocre, but is still priced at its $70 value pretty much everywhere, which I think is, yes.
Yeah, that is kind of wild.
Every Nintendo Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Mario
Nintendo
Party,
is immediate.
Super Mario Party Jamboree, and it's like, like that's my answer to this question, is that like whether or not these games are mediocre, I think is a different question. The Pokemon ones are absolutely,
Yeah.
but like Nintendo games just hold their value for forever, which like I think is then just market justification for games like Forspoken, which really Forspoken feels like like they forgot. They don't even remember that it exists to put it on sale.
They're like, oh shit, we should
happening.
probably put that on sale at some point.
I got in. I turned on my Xbox yesterday to play Fortnite, and I got an ad that was like, just for you. So I pressed it, and they were like, will you please buy Borderlands 4 Ultimate Edition? It's $4.
What? Wait, what?
Yes. They were like, it's
Borderlands
just for you.
4?
Sorry, Borderlands 3.
Oh, I was like,
I was gonna say,
I was like,
Borderlands
wow.
4. No. Sorry. Borderlands 3.
Randy's like, buy this game that's not out yet for $4. Please do it.
Borderlands 3. They were like, please, will you buy it? So it's like, that's a game that they remember they have.
Yeah.
And they've made all of the money they can. So if they put the game on sale for $3, the number of people who are going, they're going to make an incredible amount of money off of that. They're not thinking about Forspoken. So on this point, though, I think we are about to be, because of the economy, I think Player's Choice is about to come back.
Ooh, you do? You think so?
I do think so.
All right.
Because I think like that style of games pricing will come back, because in not this year or maybe even next year, but I think midway through the Switch generation, I think we will get like a Player's Choice edition of Breath of the Wild and like Tears of the Kingdom. And
will the boxes look better than the regular Switch 2 boxes?
They'll
will
look
look worse. Okay, good.
And it'll be the border around. There's gonna be 4 different inset
4
borders. like that Castlevania game where it's the Castlevania DS game box in the game box. It's gonna be like that.
Okay.
But I think market forces might push towards that, because there was something like kind of sick about getting a red label PS2 game.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it didn't mean anything to me at the time, but like now looking back, I was like, no, like I don't know, I got a great game for less money.
Yeah.
And that was 100%. Kind of neat.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that makes sense. That tracks. Let's go with Craze asking, have you ever become a fan of a game without ever playing it?
Absolutely, yes. I have a very enthusiastic answer for this. The Yakuza series. I have played 10 minutes of them, but I just, like, every single person I know who likes those games is just like a sweetheart. Yeah. And I've watched my husband play like good amounts of all of them because he really likes the series, especially Like a Dragon, the newer one. I guess not the newest, but with
Ichiban.
Oh my gosh, Ichiban. Yeah, I say the new protagonist. And like I would watch it and I'm just like, wow, this is like a very shockingly like kind of sweet game. And all of like, I don't know, there's a lot of positive masculinity in those games to where I see it and I'm like, I appreciate what's going on here. And it's also just weird too. And I love games that are fucking weird. Yeah, so between like the weirdness and the perspective on masculinity, I have played very little of any of those games. I really want to. It's just daunting. But I am a fan because they're sweet. There's like a sweetness there. I look at them fondly.
Yeah. No, that tracks. What about you, Nikki?
I'm trying to think. I you know what? It couldn't be me. Well, can you read the question again?
What?
Have
you ever become a fan of a game without
fan
ever
of it
playing
is different.
it?
Nah, it's different. It's different than because I was gonna say I respect people who like click'ems, who like people who like grid based like RTS or strategy games. I respect those people, but I don't.
But
like
you don't
those
like
games.
those games.
No.
Yeah.
But like I am kind of like you're like better than me. Like absolutely. That's a computer game. What you're doing is you're playing a video game on the computer, and I respect that. And that's not what I want.
That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm doing.
That's not why I play.
I guess I would. Yakuza series is a good pull because I really have not played much of that either. I played the most of Zero and haven't gone to other stuff. That's a good pull. I think I would probably say, um, I've watched a lot of Castlevania Symphony of the Night speedruns, but I've never really played much of that game. I played about 10
For
minutes of
sure.
it, and I'm like, whatever. But I do like that game a lot from the outside looking in. Um, and yeah, we'll go with also like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and Bloodborne. Didn't play those,
Mm,
but
Oh,
really
that's
enjoy
a
watching
great
those.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
watching
yeah.
Merritt play those made me like those
A
games. Is the
huge
only reason
fan,
I played
but
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, right.
Yeah.
Watching that stuff was the gateway drug to get me to play Elden Ring and then like Elden Ring a lot. I just haven't really gone back to the others. So, um, okay, let's go with My Hero Zero asking, what would you rather play right now? Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, or Final Fantasy 12? So it's an
Can I get like a
Evilise.
cheeseburger instead? Is
You
that one
want
of
to?
my
Okay, so
options?
Nikki wants a cheeseburger instead.
Yeah.
Does not want any of those games. Okay,
No.
Jess, what about you?
It's an interesting question because I don't understand what they have. It's kind of it's like, what would you like to eat right now? Like a bowl of cereal,
Cheeseburger.
to fly to Italy and have like Italian. I don't know. It's like not
Right.
even quality. It's just like very different. It's like I don't
Right.
like what's the connected. What's the thread here?
None
It's
We
of
like,
these,
never
you
get
just
it.
gotta
We
pick
never
one.
we never get any of that context in this question. It's just vibes. And there's another one that I'm about to ask that's even worse in terms of I need more
Okay.
information and you're not going to get it.
I mean, Tactics is probably my favorite out of those. I
Okay.
love Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
So I'd probably go with that. But I've also been meaning to revisit 12 at some point because I know 12 got a lot of hate, but
Ooh.
I feel like if you can just
Oh, but it's so
take it.
good.
It's I say, but if you can just take it for what it is, like I had a fun time playing it when it first came out. So I kind of want to get back to
Yeah.
it and,
My Hero
try it
Zero,
again.
I think I would pick Final Fantasy 12 right now. Do you know why?
Mhm.
I
Why?
want to spend 45 hours with Fran, like right now.
Oh,
That's what I
yeah.
want to do. Yeah,
Me
Fran
too.
Drescher. Fran Drescher and Fran from Final Fantasy 12. No, I think I'd pick Final Fantasy 12, even though I do love the others very, very much. MC Benji asks, stupid, what's the have to get up and do a fire drill of video games?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know. We won't get more
You
context.
have to
I'm
get
just
up and do
saying.
a fire drill.
So you know the
So,
feeling of being in
yeah.
school and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
or
yeah.
at work and then there's a fire drill that
The
happens.
moment the moment they announce another Animal Crossing, I'll lose it. They announced
Okay, so
the
you think
last
getting up to do a
Animal-
fire drill a good thing?
Well, yeah, because I'm not.
Because I take it to mean like,
Interesting.
it's the annoying time to do this. So
This
like
is
probably
why
like
they
a
ask the
mechanic.
questions. It's a
Yeah.
different interpretation for all
Yeah.
of us. So
Interesting.
Nikki, you'd be very excited if they announced a new Animal Crossing, and that feels like a fire
Yeah,
drill.
you should be a live awake alert if the building's
Sure.
on fire.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay.
God, I'm trying
So-
to think of an answer for this. It's an interesting question. John, please feel
This is
free.
Such a
I'm
good way to
laughing
say
at I'm,
bad.
I'm laughing at my own thoughts about this too because I'll tell you a story about a fire drill. Actually, it was a tornado drill. Nikki, have I told you this story? I can't remember.
don't
I
know.
probably have. But I was at a 2-story school in
Yes.
Texas, and I was on the second floor. Okay. And they came to me the morning of a tornado drill and said, John, we need to put you in this special chair and take you down the stairs because we have to know this works because the elevators will be turned off if there's a real tornado. And I was like, sure. I didn't know anything about it. I said, fine, sure. The tornado drill hits and everyone gets out of the classroom and they come in with this small little chair. Just imagine like a small, flat-backed, tall-backed chair with some, like a dolly, like a furniture dolly with a chair on it. And they go, John, it's time for you to cross your arms and we're going to strap you in and we're going to take you step by step down these 40 steps that are in the school. And when we get you down, you're facing away from the hallway. We're going to turn you around, and everyone you've ever known is going to be watching you doing this fucking cross-armed thing rolling down the hall. I locked eyes with the girl I had a crush on. I was like, I'm just gonna go home and put my head in the toilet, and that's gonna be it.
Wouldn't it have been easier
To just let me die in the fucking tornado? Yeah. Yes. Like, just let me fucking go. There's no point. Like, what's the fucking point? Like,
From
it's
the
like
jump to
Yeah.
just put the kid in the wheelchair on the first, move the class downstairs.
Right. That would have been great. But instead, they were like, no, you never know where you'll be during a tornado. And
Yeah,
I was,
John,
and then I was like, I know where I'll be from this point forward, fucking dead, because I'm not gonna get into that thing. It's fine, it's okay. So anyway, my version of that would be if you sat me down and you're like, you have to win a StarCraft battle right now, right now. You have to do it. I'd be like, nah,
Put me in the chair, bud.
Put me in the chair. I'm good. So that's my answer. It was a long answer.
We'll be through the SGF campus.
It's so funny because
Jeff Keighley's gonna be like, hey John, we don't know each other that well, but we do need to kind of test something out. Do you want to? Yeah, Hideo Kojima's gonna be watching you do this. In fact, we're gonna put these.
You go down the stairs, it's just
you.
like Kojima and Sam Lake and like just
Shigeru Miyamoto came over here to watch me do this. Holy shit. Yeah.
God. So I meant the entire time you were telling that story, I was like, oh, I gotta be thinking. And then a sentence into it, I was like, gone. No, I'm listening to the story. Incredible.
Yeah. Kind of insane.
I'm trying to think of like something that annoys me in a game where it's, you know, it's okay. Here's my like weird, like whenever I get to this, I'm kind of just like, ugh. I'm not a fan of ice levels.
Ice levels, okay.
Ice levels. You know how everybody has like that biome where they're just like, this again. I know what's gonna go on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like I usually am not into like the ice or the snow levels.
Mm-hmm. Makes
You
sense.
know, sometimes it can be okay.
But they're always fucking with your locomotion. They're like, now you're slipping. Now you're slow in the snow. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that answer. Dull Focus asks, what's the fastest you've ever driven a car? Love that question.
115, 120.
120. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably 110.
110. Was this just highway driving? Like just
you could do anything on the diagonal in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to live in the middle of nowhere in like northern Missouri when I was going to college, and I got off work at midnight in a road that like there was nobody on that highway ever. And it's not even like I meant to, but it'd be one of those things where you're just driving and you're like, I want to get home. And then you look and you're like, oh shit, I should not be going that fast.
Yeah, really fast. Yeah. I would say it's not that high for me. I think it's probably like 100 flat. And I know where I was. They opened a toll road between Austin and San Antonio when I lived in Austin, and they opened it and like, I don't know. I don't remember if it cost a lot or whatever, but like fucking nobody was on that road for like a year. And the one or two times I went over to San Antonio, like the speed limit was 85, which I've never seen before. And so they were like, you got to book it on this fucking road. And it took like 45 minutes to get to San Antonio, which is crazy. And that's where I went. I went easy 100 for most, for like a good chunk of that.
I have such a vivid memory. I was deeply depressed because my car was fucked up. And I wanted to go see Miss Marvel. What's that movie called? Captain Marvel. Very badly, but no one wanted to go see it with me, so I had to go see it by myself.
Oh,
so
I would have gone and seen it with you.
Thanks, John. I had my Mini was broken, and they had given me. I had a regular Mini, but the Mini that they gave me was an S, which was just a 4-cylinder instead of a 3-cylinder, so it just went faster. And I took the 90. I was living with my mom at the time, and I saw the movie in the marina. So I just went down Slauson, and it was the last showing of the night. And I took the 90, and the 90 is like barely a freeway. There are streets that are wider and longer in this city than the 90 is, and the 90 is a highway. So I drove there, and I was regular, but on the way back, I was pretty fucking like juiced because at the time I really liked that movie, but I think I was just like there was any endorphins in my body, so I said, "This is the best day of my whole life." And then I hit like I hit 100 in that rental car, which was nice. The fastest car you will ever drive is a rental.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it doesn't even matter what it is.
Doesn't matter what it is. We just have a couple more. My Hero Zero asks, what's the weirdest Mario-related character you'd love to see in Mario Kart World?
What's that cloud fuck's name?
Lakitu? He's
Mallow.
Lakitu.
Oh, Mallow.
Wow.
Okay.
Put Gino in the game.
You want to put Gino in the game. Okay.
I know my answer, actually. I just thought of it. Bowsette. Get horny with it.
They should put her
because
in.
they did today, and this was also kind of what was breaking the internet. They did show for a nanosecond Pauline wearing what appears to be a latex bodysuit in one of the shots. I
didn't see that.
People were getting really fucking ribbled about it on Blue Sky, and I was like, calm down, guys. There's never been a better time to just pay someone online to wear a latex bodysuit for you if you want to. It's like you could just do that.
There's so many ways.
There's just so many ways to get that. But still, that was interesting. So yeah, Bowsette would be interesting. I think that's a good answer. What's my answer?
Good question, John.
I would say just the disembodied moldable face from Mario.
Oh yeah.
And then like before you load in, you can fuck the face.
Yeah,
that would be good.
They
should let you be they should let you be the middle part of a pokey, like not the part with the head. They should just let you pick just no
body.
face, just the one body sphere from a pokey. I think would be good.
That would be good.
I feel like also another one is fucking just the guys who like the live action Mario Bros from like 1989.
Yeah,
Captain Lou Albano
and put
driving around.
Put them
100%.
in like Mortal Kombat 1 and have them look like that, and I think that would be awesome.
Yep, that'd be really good.
Danica Patrick is my final answer.
Danica Patrick, that's interesting. I put Dale Earnhardt Sr. That's what I'd do.
That's a good one.
Just put him in there. What was the other one I wanted? Okay, which comes out first, Silk Song or Star Citizen?
Silk Song.
Silk Song.
I know you did this just to get me to do this, Jason, for asking the question. Silk Song's never coming out. Okay? We've made this like 5 weeks in a row. It's not coming out. So anyway, I have to get the supercut together of me doing that for when the game comes out, because it'll be really funny. My real answer is probably Silk Song, because Star Citizen.
That's not a real game.
That's going to. I'm not kidding. That's going to end in one of the biggest class action lawsuits in the history of our country.
Should we get in now?
Yes. That's not a bit. I believe this is headed for one of the largest class action lawsuits in the history of this country.
But that's the only reason I still have a Facebook account.
Yeah.
Is because every 2 years I cash out like $215 from a different lawsuit.
That's amazing.
That someone has brought to Facebook.
That's incredible.
should we how much is Star Citizen? How much does it cost to get in?
$5. I don't know. I actually don't know. I should know the answer to that question. I don't. Okay. One more. Let's do one more. What kind of beverage and snack combo would hit the spot right now?
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, Nikki already said cheeseburger like 15 minutes ago. Won't let it go. Like a dog with a bone.
Cheeseburger.
Do you want a bevy with that?
Nah, you know what? You know what's fucking dire?
What?
I would fuck up a dirty Mountain Dew bottle.
Oh, you're so fucking disgusting. You're awful. Can't believe you brought this to our door. Putting coffee creamer. Do you know about this, Jess? They put coffee creamer in the Mountain Dew now.
Yeah. So, because like, isn't it became popular with like Mormon women, right?
Mormons, yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now,
the
and now
creamer.
everyone else has to
So
deal
did
with it.
so did fucking soaking, but you don't hear any of us like knocking down people's door to do that. Like we don't want to do like just leave us with the real stuff. Don't like I don't need to put coffee creamer in a fucking.
I don't
Mountain
even
Dew.
drink soda like that, but I have idly been thinking about, damn, it would be nice if I had one of those guys
Okay.
with like a McDonald's French fries.
Ooh. Okay. All
Would
right.
be a good combo to me.
Okay. What about you, Jess?
I'm kind of cheating because it's literally my husband was on dinner duty tonight while I recorded this podcast, and he texted me in the
Wow.
middle. I just feel like ordering, and I was like, "That's totally fine." So I'm cheating a little bit because it's
yeah.
what I ordered, and I am getting there's a place called Chuck's Hot Chicken near where I live, and it's like just like
Sounds great.
spicy chicken sandwiches.
Great.
So after this, I'm going home, aka just upstairs to a chicken sandwich and a sweet tea, like a true Midwestern
Wow,
princess.
yummy.
That's amazing. That sounds so
Yeah.
good. I'm also cheating because right after this, I'm going to Hurtado Barbecue, and I know
What
I'm
the
going to get. I know I'm getting a jalapeno glazed half chicken and a Topo Chico with lime, and I'm so fucking.
Oh shit, that sounds
Excited.
really good.
I'm so excited. I texted Ann. I'm like, order me this. So she's gonna order it, and I'm gonna go up and meet her up there with her brother, and we're gonna. I'm gonna
so
eat
mad.
that. So yeah,
That sounds real good.
yeah, it's really good.
I think
Hurtado
you win.
Barbecue. Whenever y'all come to Arlington, we got to go to Hurtado Barbecue. It's really good.
We're gonna go to a Renegades game.
We're gonna Nikki. A box seat for the year costs $500, so we should do that for real, for shoot.
What?
Yeah, I'm
Really?
not kidding. I looked it up. Yeah, it's really cheap.
How much
Yeah.
are flights to Dallas?
I know. Like you got to
When's the
come.
It
Grand-
can't be that bad.
Oh, look.
It's the middle of the country.
Yeah.
Southwest.
No, it's kid. LA to Dallas is pretty easy, and I live like 10
Everybody's
minutes
on
from
that
the-
flight.
Everyone's on that flight. All right, that was our snack and Bev combo. That was a good question. I am now reading our reviews of the podcast on the show, and we do have one this week, a 5-star review. Thank you so much from Keyboard Smash, because it's a bunch of just words. Thank you so much. The Jungle Gyms of Podcasts is the name of the review. Thank you so much. It says, they have everything you could want when you go shopping at the podcast store, and an animatronic lion impersonating Elvis berating you with music as you look at a wall of jelly beans. Thanks, reviewer. We really appreciate that.
That's a good review.
Thank you.
Thank
I don't know
you.
if I understand.
I feel like the kid that got the avocado for Christmas. He goes,
Yeah.
Aw, it's an
avocado.
avocado.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
kinda
one.
feel
That's a
like
great.
that. It's a good one. I really appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to leave us a review, go to leave us a review. If you're leaving us a review in one of those weird fucking countries like England or like France or Australia or like wherever, you're going to have to tell me when you do that, because I'm not going to go look at all of those pages every week. I will look at the American one, because we're American made.
Tariffs on your international listeners.
I'm putting tariffs on our international listeners. You know what I've never looked at? I've never looked at Canada. Let's see if we have Canadian ones. We have no reviews from Canada. Fucking get your shit together.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Maybe I did the abbreviation wrong.
Wow. It's
Oh,
CA.
no. CA was right, and no one from Canada's left one. So that's on you.
Canada, you're slacking.
That's on you. All right, let's get out of here. We've been doing this for a while. This has been a super total blast. Jess, my gosh, we were so happy to have you here. And you know
I'm
what
so happy.
You know what I noticed, and I'm so proud of myself that I didn't jinx us. About 40 minutes into the show, your internet issues completely went away.
Yes, I have no idea what happened. I noticed also, and I was like, I'm not going to say shit.
I'm so proud of us for collectively not calling attention to it, because it would have broken it almost immediately. But we did make it.
I think it was swapping us over to sending fewer pixels.
I think it was as well. And now because we're squished and weird,
Yeah.
Yeah.
watchers on YouTube, I hope you really appreciated
Yeah,
the
you're
angle you
welcome.
got on us this week.
We can everybody switch back to HD real quick, just as you know,
Okay, just to see.
a little
You-
treat
you-
at the end.
Hey, Jess, it already fucked up for you.
Already fucked up.
It already
Hey,
froze,
oh,
and you
no.
were like,
How's this?
Is it
Are
working?
we good now?
"Is it working?"
I'm
hold on.
back
Here,
at
hold on.
normal.
Hold on. I'll
My
do
head
normal.
looks
Hold on.
weird now. Is this the shape I am?
Yeah, we're both
Really?
we're both that much whiter. Isn't that weird?
That's
Nikki,
crazy.
I'm looking at you and I feel the same way. I feel
That's
like you're
nuts.
being-
Yeah.
you look like a Dick Tracy villain
Yeah,
to me
what's
right now.
happening?
It's so weird. Anyway, Jess, what do you have to plug? Tell us what's going on with you.
You can check out all my stuff over at GameSpot. I don't think that I have. I mean, I'm working on a little Overwatch 2. You know, I actually could have talked about that. That's not even embargoed. I've been playing some Overwatch 2's new season that comes out next Tuesday. But I'm in the
Okay.
early access server, so look forward to something on Overwatch's next season and the stadium mode. I like I said, there's no embargo, so I'm allowed to say it's fucking rules, and it's probably going
Hell
to be
yeah.
the thing that gets me back into Overwatch. So
Amazing. Wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Nikki, do you have anything? I believe it. Nikki, do you have anything to plug?
Make You Think Club is
Make
my
You Think
newsletter.
Perfect. Love it. Listen, January 5th, 2025, VGBs will be hosting a mixer in Los Angeles, California.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that.
Can I
We'll
come?
release. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Of course you can.
You have to.
I was about to say, because you just asked, you're now legally obligated.
You're
to come.
Okay,
obligated,
that's
so-
fair. That's
The
fair.
number of people who are actually just obligated to come is pretty high.
It is
Yeah.
actually pretty high. Yeah. But we are having a pre-SGF mixer June 5th. That is the apparent release date of the Nintendo Switch 2. So you know what? Bring your Switch 2s. Because we'll have fucking Street Pass.
There will be so
They
many
brought
people
Street
there
Pass back.
ready to
Mug.
steal it right out of your fucking hands.
They'll be ready to steal it because they'll
Check
be
it
able
at
to
the
get
door. It'll be safe.
It'll be totally safe. But yeah, we'll be releasing more info about that. We're finalizing the menu. Yes, I'm buying food for you fuckers.
Not drinks, though.
Not drinks though. We even
Have the company pay for that.
Nikki even fucking convinced me that we need to have more than one vegan option for food.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't even think those people should be allowed to vote. So like
Stop it. No, we love our vegan friends. We will have very many options for you as well. So yeah, we're going to be having a party that night. It's going to be a blast. Please check out details over at vgbs.com or over at vgbs.com on Blue Sky. vgbs.com/join is where you can join the Hive. Please join the Hive. We've had like 5 people join the past couple weeks. It's been great. We've been knocking it out of the park with podcast stats. Like March is our biggest month ever. April looks like it's going to be even bigger than that. So like we're just on a really fun trajectory. Keep it going. If you don't keep it going, I'm going to disappear from your life. So just that's a threat.
wow.
We like to end on a threat here on the VGB's podcast. So, without further ado, thank you for being here and keep on buzzing. Good night.